It's now time for NRG This Week. NRG stands for Network Referral Group. To learn more about NRG, go to their website, nrg.online. It's now time for another episode of NRG This Week.
Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday, May 27th. I hope everyone had a phenomenal Memorial Day weekend. I am Mike Weiner. We have another episode of NRG This Week. We got a great guest. I'm going to talk about her in a minute. If you have not been to an NRG meeting, I'm going to have all my contact information here. Cell number 443-756-9656. Email address, mike@networkreferralgroup.com. And my website, which is about 15 months young now, it's nrg.online. It's a great website. Holly, you did a great job with the website. So anyway, I'm in my 26th year doing what I do best. They say when you find your passion, you never work another day in your life. And that's where I'm at, 61 years old. My 26th year with NRG. We had a second record yesterday. We had 4 new members join. So if you're looking for a networking organization, if you're in an organization not getting referrals, in my organization, you get 3 up front. Once you become a member, you get 30. And what I'm learning is I'm splitting that out 10 up front and then 10 each of the next 2 months. So we're predicting an NRG tsunami this summer, 75 to 100 members coming in, potentially monthly. We've got a lot of referrals right now. So anyway, definitely reach out to me. We have an amazing guest today, Tobybeth, and she is from Florida. We met a little while back, and she had some things going on, talked with a lot of NRG members. I gave her space. Yes, I do have patients. I raised 2 adult boys now. And Tobybeth joined recently. So I always say, welcome to Studio 54 from New York, which keeps disco music alive because we need to keep, there you go. Tobybeth we did a disco survey recently. The #1 disco song, according to NRG members, the Bee Gees, Staying Alive. And that was a classic. So Tobybeth, it is great to have you here. You know, I kind of bumped you up. I really wanted to get you on NRG this week. I've been doing this podcast well over 3 years, maybe before, and I've got a lot of members, but I wanted you. I felt a connection with you. First time you came to a meeting, you had a lot going on. I gave you the space you needed. I had someone join yesterday because I gave them the space. Yes, I do have patience, but it's great to have you here. How are you doing on this beautiful day?
Mike, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me to be on this podcast. I'm so grateful to be a part of, finally, a member or a family member of NRG. I had a wonderful experience a couple months back as a guest. I was invited to come to an NRG meeting by one of my local connections here in Southwest Florida. And I'll tell you what, nothing's finer than living in Southwest Florida right before rainy season and hurricane season. So it is hot, sunny, and beautiful.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, yeah, I'm excited. We will talk about NRG. I'm going to talk about you first and appreciate all the nice words. Take 2-3 minutes. Talk about what you do because I know you've got Ziegler master, I can't even read it now, but master class. It's Zig Ziglar, and we're going to talk about an event soon in a couple of minutes. But talk about what you do when you meet with someone and they become a client of yours. What do you do with them? Take 2, 3 minutes, and then we'll dig in a little bit deeper. But I want everyone, and we are recording this, and this will be on NRG's YouTube channel, NRG This Week, and it'll be all over LinkedIn and Facebook. So I know you got a big fan club of people watching, and they can actually write in here. And I don't know how that works, but anyway, talk about what you do for a couple of minutes.
Sure. Thanks, Mike. I really do
Welcome.
appreciate this. Beyond my titles, as Mike was saying, being a Ziegler Master Coach, among other things, really what I identify with is I meet people where they are and guide them forward with clarity, momentum, leadership, and meaningful growth. And what I mean by that is a lot of people already know what they should do. They're just stuck in overwhelm or burnout, which leads to hesitation and overthinking. And my work is really about guiding people so that they can see clearly enough to move forward again. One of the things that I really focus on with my clients is clarity is really created in motion. So unless you're moving forward with intention, clarity is going to be somewhat elusive, especially when you're operating within that sphere of burnout and overwhelm and over pleasing people and overthinking everything that you do. So that's where I come in. I'm going to meet you where you are and guide you forward for that clarity so that you can gain momentum and some meaningful growth.
Awesome. Love that. And you have this calm, cool clarity, to use your word, about you. And I think, not only think, I know when we met, we were at a high vibration level. And I've always learned if you want to get to where you're not, you've got to get that vibration level up. And you talk about people being overwhelmed and they need to be in motion. And I think this starts when they're a kid, because you go to high school, you study the night before for a test, you go to college, you cram all the stuff in, and it's like, where did all this procrastination come from? I've always been taught urgency. You got to have a sense of urgency. You got to make things move. And I think I do a pretty good job. I was thinking about that with NRG. And once in a while, someone like yourself needs a little space. I had that yesterday. It's not anything I'm doing wrong. It's just life. There's things, there's events, there's things going on. But, it just seems like there's that procrastination that starts when they're a kid. So then, maybe they're an employee, COVID hit, now they're running their own company. They're an entrepreneur. So can you, without giving us all away everything, can you share one secret? I just came up with this one secret about how do you get people off procrastination, off being overwhelmed, and get some clarity. Just give us one tip without giving away the farm. But I want people to get an idea of some of the things that you do. And you've got this, for those watching, I would definitely recommend you reach Tobybeth. She and I had some great conversations, and someone doesn't always have to join right away. Would I like them to? Sure. I can get them moving, but I knew Tobybeth had things going on, and I respected that. So what's one tip you could give about clarity?
So, it's a great question, and that there's many great questions that you have rooted in the overall question about procrastination. I think I was the captain of the procrastination club in high school. Seriously, I was the captain of a lot of things in high school. Popularity wasn't one of them, I can tell you that. And what I've come to learn and notice over the years And I see this in my clients a lot, and it's a hard lesson. Procrastination is actually a mask. Procrastination masquerades itself as fear. So we often put off what we know we could be doing or should be doing or want to be doing because we're afraid of the results. We're afraid of failure, which is very, very common. And we're afraid of success. So people will just naturally procrastinate. Oh, I'll get around to it. I'll get around to it. There's a story in our Ziegler circles where Zig actually sold the you and I are in the same age group, Mike. It's called the little round to it. It's a little disc and it says around to it on it. I'll eventually get around to it. And again, people just simply procrastinate because they're hiding behind fear.
I love that. I wrote that down. Procrastination, mass fear. That's brilliant. Give us an example of one of your clients, without mentioning their name, obviously, someone you worked with, and some of the benefits that they got from working with you, whether their company blew up, couldn't be a relationship, they got married, but I'm thinking more business, some benefit, maybe it was getting them off, getting them moving. What would be one testimonial for you, Tobybeth, to one of your clients?
So that's, let's see. A good
I didn't
testimonial.
realize I had so many great questions, did you?
Yeah, I'm not prepared for your questions, Mike. Most of my clients are high performing individuals, either in business and or in their personal lives. Moms, soccer moms, dads, always on the go, always, got to be moving and grooving. And they're spinning their wheels like on a stationary bike, going nowhere fast. They're not feeling productive. So actually, my client that I coached this morning, we had a session this morning. She's actually a fellow coach with me at Ziegler. And I do coach our fellow coaches. I'm a bit of a mentor. Well, not a bit. I am a coach mentor. And this young lady just was stuck. She couldn't get out of her own way. And we started meeting on a regular basis about a year ago. And slowly, bit by bit, through some organized forward motion tasks and activities, we started to have a closer look at what was holding her back. Having her notice what she was noticing within herself and doing the work and taking small intentional steps every day. Tom Ziegler wrote an excellent book that we utilize in our coach training. It's called Choose to Win, and it's about changing bad habits into good habits. And that's what I did with this young lady. We talked about her bad habits, the procrastination, which is a habit. It's a comfort zone. We'll procrastinate because we're comfortable. And we worked away at this forward motion week after week, talked about habits, talked about balanced success through utilizing the Wheel of Life foundational principles. Because if your life is out of balance, you don't have great forward motion. You get a bumpy ride. And we worked on smoothing out her ride on her 7 spokes, the mental, the physical, the spiritual, the personal, the financial, the family, the career. And we worked on all of that. And I walked with her on this journey. And then a couple of months ago, she started noticing some changes in her own behavior. And a couple of weeks ago, she finally was able to have a conversation where she didn't question herself. She didn't question if she was worthy. She knew she was worthy. She'd come to recognize herself for who she is when she looks at herself in the mirror. Oftentimes, we'll look in the mirror and it's an extremely foggy picture reflecting back at us. And, we all wipe that away just to get the little small glimpse of ourselves in the fogged up mirror. Well, I'm going to guide you towards complete and total clarity on that mirror. We'll get rid of all of that fog. And now this young lady is coaching clients. She's got a roster of clients that she's coaching, and she's having regular conversations with many people. And I actually expect to have her on as a guest at an NRG networking meeting here soon.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. Thank you for that answer. That was awesome. One more question, and then we're going to take a commercial break.
Sure.
NRG, you came to a meeting, absolutely loved it. You had some phenomenal conversations. You're a brand new member with me. I love your energy. I love your personality. Very charismatic. High end, though, high vibration is one of the things I really, when you walk away from someone, do you feel better about yourself or worse? And you know what? You empower me. And that's one of the things one of my goals with every member. So what's your energy testimonial? You've been seen other groups, been a part of other groups. And I had a member today that's going to do a testimonial at the Atlanta group today. And I'm going to see the Orioles with my wife. First time we've gone to a Major League Baseball game together. She just left 3 other organizations, but she didn't just leave. She did something that I've never heard anyone do. She wrote a letter to all 3 and said, I'm leaving. Thank you very much. But I've got something else that's being more productive. I never ask people to leave where they're at, but if it makes sense, it's got to be a business decision, So what is it about NRG that you would say to people if they're in another organization and they're not quite getting the referrals, if they're new to networking? I'm going to give you 3 to 4 minutes on this one. 3 to 4 minutes. What would you say about NRG? And then we'll take a commercial break, and we're going to talk about an amazing. It revolves around Zig Ziglar, and we'll talk about that. And I'm going to give my quote, and then we'll talk about that. But what's your NRG testimonial, Tobybeth?
So I showed up as an invited guest. I believe it was to the Dallas group, if I'm not mistaken. And I want to say it was back in early March. And I actually had zero expectation because I had been to other networking. I mean, in my previous life, I call it my past season, networking was about performing. It was about showing off. It was about strutting your stuff. I can, and all the chest pounding. I can't stand that. I like authenticity. I like real people, real conversations. I'm not coming into a networking room to be sold. I'm coming into a networking room to have meaningful conversations and make long-lasting connections. It doesn't matter if our businesses don't align. I'm looking to make those connections. And that's exactly what I found in this room with NRG. It was warm. It was welcoming. People were genuine. They were authentic. And nobody was looking to sell anybody anything. They were just looking to make those long-lasting, meaningful connections. Everything that you would want in a networking room. And the simple fact that you can network with people across the country and not see the same people time after time. You go to your local community networking groups, and no disrespect, the chamber events and that sort of thing, and do the business card exchanges. You're seeing the same people. So being a member, first of all, before I even became a member, going into this room unprepared for anything, just expecting, I would suppose, the same old, my curiosity brought me into the room. And I'll tell you what, coming out of that room, I had 4 conversations already scheduled. And I hope you don't mind me sharing this, Mike, but I rode that wave for 8 weeks before I was able to pull the trigger and become an official NRG member. Just about, I guess it's been 30 days now, maybe 3 weeks. I had 24 meaningful conversations, because one conversation turned into 3 other conversations, which turned into 2 other conversations. It was like domino effect with a surprise at the end each time I had a conversation. And not once did I ever feel that I was oversold or sold. It was genuine conversations with real people looking to make their connections and connect the dots. And honestly, I'm so pleased because I was able to connect somebody within the NRG family to somebody in my circle outside of NRG to help them with their business. And I couldn't be more thrilled with that connection. I've already heard from my colleague that I referred to talk to somebody from NRG to help her with a specific problem in her back office. And she was like, I can't believe this person can do all of this. Thank you. So for me, it's about the cultivation of the relationships. And while I may not be the person for you to partner up with strategically, you will always know somebody that will know somebody that will know somebody. It's like that. Isn't that a shampoo commercial?
Something like that. Yeah, I think I remember that. But you're right. And I think a lot of people miss that. It's who do people have access to?
Right.
If you and I met on an elevator, Toby, for the first time, I would say, if you said, give me one word of NRG, it's harder now. I'd say access. I'd say family. I'd say culture. I'd say love. We've got a member who's unbelievable, Dr. Roz. She's helping 8.3 billion people love 8.3 billion people. So I love your answer. I want to plug Leon Thomas real quick. Leon, the Leon Thomas Group, who I've known Leon in my 26th year now. He's got a racquetball program that's amazing throughout Baltimore, all ages. It's called Racquetball. There it is on the screen. Jay is amazing. Racquetballrevival.com. So reach out to Leon through that. And we are going to take a commercial break right now. When we come back, we're going to talk about Zig Ziglar. And so we will be right back after this commercial break. Thank you.
At Rod's Car Repairs, we work on all cars, old cars, new cars, and your car. Car Repairs by Rod.io.
Baked by Brianna has been your Baltimore hometown bakery since 1969. Located in Roxton Plaza, Baked by Brianna. Visit bakedbybrianna.io.
From the creative team that brought you The Browning Project and Dead by Morning comes a new thriller that will change the way you look at white-collar crime forever. Falling from the Sky.
Water. It's everywhere. We drink it, we bathe with it, we cook with it. Coffee's made with water. Toilets won't flush without it. It's used for washing clothes, dishes, utensils, pots, pans, floors, and our teeth. Plants and crops need water, animals drink it, and fish need it too. And don't forget, we can have a lot of fun in the water. Water. What will we do without it?
I'm Leon Thomas with the Leon Thomas Group. Podcast, virtual events, webinars, streaming shows, and so much more. We want to be your partner in all things virtual.
We are back. NRG this week having a great conversation with Tobybeth. So we are going to do two more things. I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to catch you off guard probably with another one, but I love the information. And we're not going to talk about Zig yet. It's going to be the second one. What have I not asked you that you would like to talk about? 2, 3 minutes. Maybe it's a testimonial. Maybe it's a service that you do. Maybe it's what to expect when they meet with you, and people are going to be extremely pleased. But take 2, 3 minutes, whatever you would like to talk about. If it's personal, you got a hobby, that's fine. But is there something business wise I haven't asked you? People love this question because they can talk about something that I miss. There's no way we can cover it all in 30 minutes. But what would you like to talk about?
Well, you know what? I think it's really important, Mike, to tell people a little bit about my story. And um, the quickest way for me to tell the story is this. One day I realized that my calendar, everybody works from a calendar, right? A planner, a calendar. My calendar had become boxes full of everyone else's expectations. You know, the 2-page layout of your calendar where it's a box per day, 7 days a week, 30 days, 31 days of the month. So all of my boxes became full of everyone else's expectations. And I had to start asking myself, where was I intentionally creating space for my own life and purpose? My local friends will understand this when they watch this. I used to tell folks, I don't have a square to spare. I just had no time. I was color coded to the max. And the important thing to remember here is that most transformation doesn't happen through one giant breakthrough moment. It happens through small, honest decisions repeated consistently over time, like I was talking about with my client earlier. So, you know, the part of my reinvention, if you want to call it that, was there came a point where I realized that I could keep surviving, or I could intentionally start building a life aligned with clarity, peace, and purpose. So the choice, do I just want to live a life of survival? Or do I want to intentionally start building a life that gives me alignment and clarity, peace, and purpose? You know, you asked me what my hobby is. Well, my hobby is walking alongside others, helping them discover what they're procrastinating with, or on, or for, or because, and walking alongside of them as they discover where their alignment and their clarity and their peace and their purpose really truly lies for them. A lot of times people will ask me, what does success mean to you, Tobybeth? And I simply put, to me, success is alignment with that peace and meaningful growth, and guiding people as they move forward um, towards themselves, moving forward without losing themselves in the process. I'm there to guide them, to remind them of who they are. A lot of people will come to me and they have no belief in themselves whatsoever. That's okay, I tell them. And I'm telling you, all of these listeners, all of your listeners, Mike, you know what? If you don't believe in yourself, that's okay. I already believe in you, and you can borrow some of my belief in you until you gain the clarity and the momentum to take action towards your own belief.
Wow. I love that. That's super powerful. Empowering other people. That's why you and I align so well. All right. Zig Ziglar. You can get anything in life you want if you just help enough other people get what they want. I say that at almost every NRG meeting. I ran a couple 100,000 meetings. I've run about 30,000 on Zoom since COVID. Remember COVID way back in 2020? We're almost to 2030 now. So, Tobybeth, you've got something coming up that is historic. We're going to take 2 minutes, wrap up with that, talk about the event celebrating Zig Ziglar. I believe it's 100 years, isn't it?
Yes. So Mr. Ziglar's birthday this year in November, he would have been 100 years old. He passed away in 2012, and his son, Tom Ziglar, who is proud son and CEO of Ziglar Corporation, in conjunction with his family, as well as all of us Ziegler coaches within our Ziegler family, we are honored to help and promote Ziegler's 100th birthday celebration. This is happening in October in Franklin, Tennessee on Friday, October 15th at the Dave Ramsey Center in Franklin, Tennessee. And you can see my email address at the top of the screen, right above my head here, somewhere here or there. If you email me, I have some very special event pricing just for you for Friday, October 15th, to celebrate Zig Ziglar's 100th birthday celebration, because we will see you not just at the top, but over the top.
I love it. I love it. That is so exciting. So, Tobybeth, it's been great having you on today. Appreciate you. I will see you at an NRG meeting soon. And, folks, reach out to Tobybeth, and she is absolutely amazing. I'm going to wrap us up right now. If you haven't been to an NRG meeting, please reach out to me. Cell number is really the best. I'm just going to provide that right now, 443-756-9656. And for Tobybeth, for Leon Thomas, and for myself, we are signing off. Hope you enjoyed this. Tobybeth, thank you so much. Awesome. I took some notes while I was running the meeting, but have a great week. We will see you at the top. I love that. We'll see you next week. Until then, have a great week. I sound like Casey Kasem. Keep reaching for the stars. Thank you.